Hey my ladies and my gents, I'm StevenTocher and this right here is my
mother.
Hey Mom, how you doing?
I'm doing good today.
Yeah? Oh, that's good because it's spring.
It's a bit chilly, but we were out this morning. It was much nicer. I don't know.
We were out for a walk in the niceness of the breezes
At least
of the
the sun is shining.
I know, I'm telling you. You can kind of see it coming through over the lights even. It's quite delicious and wonderful. So today we are going to talk about foods that you want to kind of avoid even though they're healthy for you just because of the high caloric content or the amount of calories that are in them. My friend Jerome L, shout out, and a few other people that I've talked to over the past, I'd say, couple months, maybe a year or so, they have consistently asked me, well Steve, you know what, I'm eating very healthy, but at the end of the day, I don't know which foods to kind of avoid. First of all, we got juices, alright? Now, juice, whether it's freshly squeezed, concentrate juice, you know, even if you're on a juice diet, don't get me wrong, juices are, for the most part, they can be good for you if they don't have artificial sugars and sweeteners on them because they're just fruit. But think of it this way, this is going right into your bloodstream. You have to be very careful about the types of food that you're having that will, you know, enter your body at different rates in different ways, right? Remember, if you have a complex carbohydrate, excuse me, it's going to take a little bit more to burn than a normal carbohydrate in your system, and that makes it just a little bit more healthier for you, that and the fact that it's a whole grain. So with the juice, you just kind of have to be careful, and remember, this is 100 calories, you know, if you're really thirsty, boom, water is always a better choice. Now, an avocado is fantastic. Mom, you swear by the avocado, you probably have one, if not maybe, one per day? Half a day? Alright, so 1 to half a day depending on the day. And it's great for Mom, but for myself, again, this little avocado is not going to cut it for me. It's just, it was so small. So again, these are my foods that were just so, to me, I just couldn't, I had to X them off of my diet just because they were so small and I would just go back for more. We have 20 grams of granola here. And again, this is 100 calories. And this granola, Mom, you actually and I were talking about this before we started shooting. You used to have this as a...
Oh, I like the snack on it.
Yeah. And you didn't really even know this was a cereal per se.
I had no idea. I knew it was a cereal, but it's so... I just love to eat it like candies, you know. It's just like chips, actually.
And you just can't have a little bit or even a handful.
I had no idea that it was so high in calories.
So how many handfuls do you think you'd have? Because this is like half a handful, right?
Well, I would have about 3 or 4 handfuls and bigger than that.
And that kind
before I knew. And
see, that's the thing. For instance, if you have an extra 100 calories a day and you don't realize it, that extra 100 calories is 36,500 calories over the course of a year.
Yeah.
That's around 10 pounds that you've added on just by an extra 100 calories. So that extra, you know, scoop into the bag when you've already hit that plateau for the day, you have to be very conscious of your energy in versus the energy out. And as you get older, a lot of people don't grasp the concept that your body doesn't burn as much, and the activities you do, they're going to be lower down in intensity a lot of the time. So granola for me, these two right here are the worst. It's dates, which you can only have 4 of, they're not even pitted, and nut mix. Now, this is around 17 grams of nut mix, okay? But this is with raisins and some seeds. If you were just to have straight nuts, you'd have even less than this for 100 calories. And I don't know about yourselves, but I've seen people go up, and I've seen people even at a bar, when you go to a bar or something, and the nuts are just in front of them, especially peanuts, and they're just going to town. And they're like, well, I only had like 5 beers or 2 beers or whatever they had, or they went to a party, only had a handful of nuts, it was healthy. That's fine, but remember, that's 300 calories, or sorry, that's 100 calories, right? If you have a decent sized handful of just straight up nuts, you're looking at 3 to 4, maybe 500 calories. So these two, actually this kind of the side of the table were things that I stayed away from. I also stayed away from apricots, even though obviously they're delicious, really healthy for you. A little bit high in sugar, but natural sugars. That I stayed away from. I stayed away from milks. I stayed away from most liquids. I just really wanted to get the most out of whatever I could eat, and that's kind of what I'm just going to quickly talk about right now. So instead of having these smaller things for snacks, I went to rice cakes. This is only 90 calories of rice cakes. I tried to find one that was a little bit more closer to the 100, however, as close as I got. This is the cheddar rice cake. You can get rice cakes that are like 30 or 40 calories that are just the rice cake on their own. You can put a little bit of butter on that because butter is good for you, good natural fats. And or you could get a chocolate caramel, you could get apple cinnamon. There's tons of different types of rice cakes out there for you. Just again, look at the packaging. It is synthetic for the most part, but remember, if you're eating a lot of good stuff, you know, consistently, a little bit of stuff that you really enjoy, 10%, that's kind of the ratio I go out with it. Mom, you introduced me to grapefruit on a consistent basis. I love, my palate is very grapefruit loving. I love sour keys, so this was a natural grapefruit. Could you tell me some of the great things that a grapefruit can do for your body, as well as basically having 2 smaller grapefruits is only around 100 calories once you peel them?
It tastes good. I think it purifies the blood, and it's a great fruit. Yeah.
You also told me that there are some properties about losing weight as well, right?
Yes, actually, yeah. You can lose weight on that.
Many doctors that I've heard from people who were struggling with their health, who have like kind of joined Team Tocher in a certain way, they've told me that grapefruit was actually prescribed by many doctors. So, you know, grapefruit for the most part is really awesome. And again, if you're a sour person like myself, the citrusy person, but especially like, just the love of that sour. You know, and you can get sweet grapefruit, don't get me wrong, that's true. But I do love sour grapefruit. So again,
I love the sweet one, not the sour one.
Yeah, she's so sweet.
The pink one.
The pink ones. Okay, so to finish off these last 3 quickly, we have an entire stalk of celery, usually around 8 to 10. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We have 9 here, so that's around 100 calories. Remember, if you chew it properly, you're going to burn the calories away. A banana, which is my staple. This is probably actually around 85 to 90 calories. I couldn't find the ripest banana. It's spring, I'm sorry. And this banana right here, you know what I mean? It's pretty big. You put it in oatmeals. You can put them at bases for protein shakes and all that stuff. Fantastic. Most fruits that are about yay big in hand are around 100 calories, except the grapefruit. That's why, again, I have them a lot. And finally, egg whites. Now, this right here is around 200 milligrams of egg whites. Now that's going to be pretty much on the dot 100 calories. But think of it this way. Without the yellow, right, you're not going to have as much cholesterol. Don't get me wrong, egg cholesterol is good for you. The cholesterol you're getting from eggs are good for you, right? It goes without saying. You can have maybe I'd say 2 eggs per day, not a big issue. But if you don't want the yellow, per egg, you're basically, that little yellow is usually more than half of the calories. So if you grab some egg whites, which are usually fairly cheap, you can get it in a big carton for a couple, maybe $3, $4, you can easily get in this serving, I think, about 30 to 35 grams of protein. You can make some really great and amazing omelets with them. Throw some spinach, peppers. But anyway, to make a long story short, you're going to get a lot of food out of this side of the table, not so much, but all of these things are healthy. So if you're on a diet, just make sure that you're just looking at the labels and figuring out what you're putting in, because the difference between like feeling fantastic and success and missing that mark and not feeling as great as you could be and living as healthy as possible is very slim when you get to that certain level where you've kind of started getting into a really good groove and you've changed to having a healthy lifestyle. If you have any comments or questions, or if you think, or maybe if you'd like to drop some of your foods that you can't eat because you know you'll just keep eating them non-stop, drop it in the comment section below. If you want to check out the video, the blog, or anything else that pertains to this video in particular, you can see that in the description below. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day, evening. God bless. Oh yeah, and if you like what I'm doing, please tweet, tumble, like, share, thumbs up, plus, pin, or do whatever you do, and please subscribe.